that losing streak. And of course Millenium as the red team anchored on the bottom of the league right now and really desperately trying to find a win in week 5.
Notice how Curb, he's starting with the flask as his first item because he knows he's going to be able, or he's going to get a lot of poke from Pekka. He doesn't really have the chance to poke back unless he wants to all into the face of Pekka. So very smart of him getting the flask, making sure he can sustain himself and get the farm he needs.
We also see Yellow Star starting off with the medallion rather than going for the Doran's blade, Doran's shield, sorry, which has almost become a standard for supports these days.
Yeah, so he has the relic shield. It means he's gonna have wave control because he can decide to either push the wave by going in and popping the execute on some minions, and also he's, he has some good tank stats from it, and he can upgrade it later on into the heart of the mountain, where which basically is gonna work against Fizz, a face of the mountain. Sorry, you got me there. But that's gonna work against Fizz because Fizz wanna all in someone. If you pop the shield on this target, you can kind of save them.
We'll see how it works out. Of course, the fact that there is the crystalline flask up against Doran's ring in that mid lane as well going to have a slight advantage for Peke, but we'll see whether Kirby just needs to sustain himself on that turret.
We have to keep an eye on the bot lane though.
I want to just draw your attention to what is happening here. Fnatic, knowing what Millenium do. If you think back to the Intel Extreme Masters Sao Paulo, they got caught out in a very similar situation. I think it was Seven Walls that maybe did it. I'm not too sure whether Seven Walls or Pain that did the exact same thing and caught out for Millenium. Millenium didn't do though, so for once they've been very passive in level 1.
They actually didn't do it yesterday either. It seems they've gone a little bit away from this level 1 tactic because now teams have figured it out. And Fnatic was in a great position if Millenium had walked in with maybe the fresh first to try and land a hook and then just instantly burst them down and get the kill.
We are moving into the lane phase. It is going to be standard starts out actually for both of these junglers. As I say that, it's only getting help on the red buff, getting leashed out there. Cyanide had no help, and we also saw Soaz. He snuck away the wolves as well, so he's going back to that top lane. He's already got, I'd tell a lie, he didn't take any experience, he didn't take him.
Now the reason Sana didn't get any help is because you need to be in your bottom lane at 155, otherwise the other bot lane can just start shoving it out and forcing you to fall behind on XP, and once they hit the level 2 mark and you're still level 1, you just have to walk down to your turret and just wait for the minions because there's nothing else you can do.
So what's Peke going to level up here against the Fizz? Is he going to go, like, maybe get the barrel out there? Is he going to go for the Drunken Rage? Is he maybe want the stats to just help out that burst that Fizz could put out?
He's going to do standard first up to level 4 where he has the body slam, and then, level 3, sorry, I can see Yellowstar going very aggressive.
Very deep stuff there, and he's going to get hooked back in. That means Kraton will turn the damage back around again. Yellowstar taking some sort of unnecessary damage, going a little too deep.
Now, Peggy, he's obviously going to max his barrel roll just for more harass for the wave clear. He could have opted to start for body slam if he really wanted to be aggressive at level 1, but he didn't really have to, so he's been going more the safe route, and he's just going to farm and shove Curb down all the time.
See how he goes at the moment. It is all as standard. 2 CS being picked up by Yellowstar here. This is because obviously the shield that he has on there, making sure that the gold transfers. This is what you do with a relic shield.
That's the thing, and we need to really keep an eye on his CS and not only look at the AD carries, because he's going to actually pick up quite a lot through this laning phase, and he's going to give some bonus CS, and also again, look how it helps them control where the wave is in the lane. They're not going to get shoved down by this Lucian and Fresh.
Yeah, it gives exactly the same obviously to your AD carry as well, so it's a big bonus in that lane phase, so we'll start stacking that gold. And you can see really what it means already. Just look at the gold, you can see there's 200 gold differential already stacking out here, because he's actually used it on the sequence.
Yeah, he's been getting the gold from this one. If we notice something else on the map though, jungle-wise, we have he's going in again.
Oh, tries to go in, but quick play coming out from JB. Now throws out the death sentence. Reckless sidesteps it out there, not going to land on it.
And once again, Fnatic has been able to get the early level 3 compared to the level 2 on Millenium because they could control the wave. Soaz, he's very far pushed up right here. Aranea is waiting in the wings, and Cyanide, he's far, far away.
Let's see if he can get in there. He has got the double buff on. He's going to rotate in towards Soaz. Has waited here. Is not going to land the Q, and Soaz dodging everything nicely.
Very nice by Soaz. Curb actually going aggressive on Peg in the mid lane.
Going to try and turn it. Some urchin strikes landing on Peke there, getting a good poke back and forth, and Curb coming out on top.
And a lot of early game action here. Curb is doing really well CS wise, actually keeping completely even. Obviously the flask is going to help him sustain quite a lot. Cyanide, he's going to go for this wolf camp because he knows Aranea was top lane, so he's not nearby, and maybe he's actually going to wait afterwards with the ward and try and catch him out.
He's going to try and start that off. You can see that Aranea is close by. Aranea actually coming into the wolves any moment now, but Cyanide's hit and run, taking that big wolf, and he's getting straight away from that one. Aranea is going to come in and find himself empty.
And they spot out Aranea here, they ping him out, they know exactly where he was. Aranea also know that Cyanide was just at his wolf camp because he was moving back to its starting position. So both junglers or both teams know where the enemy jungler is.
gives them that little bit of information. Looking at this top lane pairing, Kevin taken very low. Oh, he's going to dive towards the tower. Has he got enough? Has he used the Ignite? I think the Ignite should do it on Kevin. One more tower. No, hasn't quite got enough.
But he still has to recall, so Source manages to get him away from the turret and let him lose this entire wave here. So he's gonna be behind in CS, behind in XP. Kevin has his teleport, he can go back to the lane with that one, but that means he will be down and Fnatic will have the timer.
Some countering coming out from RNA. You can see he's taking the Wolves in that bottom lane away from Cyanide. So, sorry, the Golems away from him, making sure he does counter-strike back on towards that gold. We'll see whether he sticks around, see whether he goes in towards that bottom lane. So as meanwhile in this top lane, Kevin has teleported in towards the top, so he's gone back, got himself that chain vest.
But it's going to be a very hard gang for RNA in the bot lane because Reckless and Yellowstar have an idea he's there, so they already move back. They're not taking any chances with the hook from j. Now they have a good wave coming in. They can actually decide to more or less freeze this wave and just wait for the rest of them to calm down. Meanwhile, Millenium starts the dragon.
It's going to be the dragon started off. We'll see whether they conclude it. You can see that Yellowstar and Reckless are coming in there, and well, they are going to disrupt it nicely there. That's going to give Millenium food for thought, and they're going to back off.
I actually like the move by Millenium because of how passive Fnatic was standing in the lanes, and also Peggy was actually missing in the mid lane, so I think they thought he was recalled, and that's why they went for it.
And then you see Yellowstar once again using that Relic Shield, making sure he gets that extra gold, gives it across the Reckless at the same time. He's up to 8 TS now, so that's going to continue as the game progresses.
Yeah, it actually means that Reckless is quite far ahead. Or not quite far, but he's at least ahead like CS-wise due to the Relic Shield CS. Sanad going towards the top lane. This time they can dive him, and Source has his ultimate.
Yeah, Source also gone for that pickaxe as well, so he's going to try and put more damage down. We do see just waiting in the wings. Here comes Peke as well. This is going to be a 3-man pylon on top. Millenium in all sorts of trouble. Kevin's not going to be able to face this one out. He's going to tank it as long as he can. Soaz is going to back away. Explosive Cast keeps him pinned where he stands. Belly Slam comes in there. They're trying to trade once again. Have they got enough? Aranea comes in. He comes in, locks on there. First blood did go to Soaz, but a good counter from Aranea. They haven't got the follow-up support though, because Kerp didn't come.
No, but Kevin managed to stay alive for such a long time due to his ultimate and due to the fact his pillar was blocking them from actually moving in there. Sanad had to repel, did no damage with it because he's up in the air to reset the tower aggro, or he would have died earlier. It meant that Aranea could move up there and actually get a revenge kill and trade 1-for-1.
I'm interested in how that one worked out. As you know, as a team, I'd like to see my mid lane, especially if Peke goes up there, I'd like to see my mid laner follow him, because that was a full-on pylon. He has got a good bit of damage on towards his middle turret. There you can see half the hit points already taken off it.
Now, Kerp didn't have vision on Peke when he moved out. There was no ward, so he might not have seen him actually. What he did, he didn't know where he was, so he didn't want to go out there. Oh, who coming on Yellowstar?
Hook on towards Yellowstar is going to get followed through. Kraton trying to put some of that damage down quickly, puts that shield on him, and that will cover off the damage. This time Kerp is roaming, he's heading south, he's just going to ward out that dragon.
Smart enough though, making sure that if there should be a pink ward outside of this river area here, it won't spot this this green ward because it's around the corner, so it's actually a very smart ward to make sure Fnatic is not trying anything.
j trying to zone out Fnatic here down this bottom lane. You can see him winding up that hook. He's ready and waiting to throw out that death sentence. If he can land in on towards Reckless at any time soon, he's just going to lash in on towards Yellowstar. We're going to bully him back out there. Yellowstar himself, you can see that glowing orb going around him, that Relic Shield ready and waiting to try and hit one of those minions. And he's going to just save it, I feel, once again for that siege minion. That's what he seems to be keeping it for at the moment.
But it's actually a funny state we're in bot lane wise. None of them really feel like they have the damage to all in each other, so they're just more or less farming away, trying to poke a little bit. Obviously Yellowstar has to all in to do any damage, but he's also very tanky if he should be caught by j. So none of them really feel confident in fighting, and they're just happily farming away.
So Peke takes the blue buff, and you can see the blue buff already also spawned over for Millenium. Expect to see Kerp heading this way in a moment. Explosive Cask is available. Peke isn't going to try and come and intercept it. Instead, he's just going to let Kerp hop, skip, and jump over there. Playful Trickster on towards the blue buff, no problem there. So everything all smooth sailing. Let's look at this top lane, because Kevin's been back, he's gone for that little bit of armor, he's got those 2 Doran's items and the chain vest, but so as a game, going towards that Tiamat, it's almost becoming a standard for the Renekton's.
Yeah. And the Tiamat gives him, fish from Kerp, almost hitting his face, he managed to body slam out, but Tiamat going into the Hydra is a very normal build now, because it gives you a lot of split pushing potential, also gives you very good damage you can do onto Kevin here. The chain vest is going to help him a lot though. Now we see Aranea walking down to bot lane.
He's coming down, trying to set this one up, it's going to be the fly, Reckless flashed out of it, so Yellowstar's going to be the next focus,
nice.
But uses Aranea nicely. Beautiful work there. Zenith Blade onto Aranea, just gets him out of the danger.
Yeah, such a smart play, and it meant that he got kicked into his own turret, and therefore was pretty safe. He had to flash the hook though, he didn't feel confident enough that he could dodge it. Meanwhile though, Millenium is starting the dragon.
Yeah, I think they just caught a glimpse of Cyanide in their top lane as well, so Kevin's going to keep them busy while the rest of Millenium do take this dragon. This will be the first one for Millenium. Successful dragon attempt. Took them 2 goes. They got her in the end.
And Fnatic, they want to get his top turret and just trade, turret for dragon. And also Peke was pushing the mid turret. I'm not sure he actually got too much damage on it, but at least he got some pressure.
And just to show you exactly why Soaz didn't last hit that turret, wants to just make sure all of those minions get taken down. Kevin has no minions to pick up there, just making sure the tower takes down any minion, taking away every little gold advantage.
Exactly, I mean, and also at the same time he wants to make sure the lane is not pushing too much in favor of Millenium, so he has to overextend himself too much, because Aranir, now there's no dragon, he can safely go top lane, because he's not going to lose anything anywhere else on the map, so he can just keep walking top now and try and gank Source.
That's exactly what he's doing, but the ward from Soaz is going to catch him out there. We do see Kevin's going to land. The kick did actually come in towards it. RNA is going to lock in towards him. Has to pop that Dominus. He has got the Tiamat. Can he focus on towards him? RNA taken very low. Does not want to follow that one on his own. And Soaz will walk off.
And very nice by Source that he's actually focusing his damage onto Aranir, who's a lot more squishy than Kevin. Oh, scumbag Pecker.
Making sure he didn't go for it. Didn't go all in there. Didn't use his explosive cast. Didn't try and blow everything on towards him instead. Just used that balance. No, I'm not really going to let you off there. But I'm not too sure Kerp actually wanted to go back. He's got the blue buff. He was fully stacked on health. I think it was a more of a bait of his own.
Yeah, definitely. He does have quite a lot of gold though, so he could go back. He want to complete his early Lich Bane, which gives him a lot of burst potential. It gives him a lot of early game damage. So getting the Lich Bane from him. Oh, going on Kraton.
Kraton has been focused here. This time he could get locked up nicely by Yellowstar. There's going to be the Solar Flare. Kraton just dodges straight out of it. Cyanide's coming back down. He's going to get spotted out by that ward, and we see Millenium backing off quickly.
Again, nice engage actually from Yellowstar here, getting a lot of pogo onto Kraton. He still has barrier, so he's not afraid of dying yet. But Cyanide is coming in.
Cyanide comes around the side there. Yellowstar uses the Zenith Blade on towards j. Have they got enough? Soaz came straight down there as well. That's going to be one. Can they make more of this one? Soaz on towards j. They're going to try and turn it back around. Kevin's teleporting down here now. We also have Kerp joining the party as well. Yellowstar going to get locked up. I don't think he's going to be able to survive this one. Who will pick up the kill? That's the question. They want to give it across to Kraton. He will take it down eventually once he gets in towards that bush. There he is. Now we see Kerp. He's come down there. Everybody else from Fnatic backing off. A 1-for-1 trade.
So once again they trade 1-for-1. Everyone was in this one. Kerp was running there. We also had Pega trying to run down. None of them was actually close enough, but they were nearby for if something else should have happened. So wisely enough, both teams to try to back off. Fnatic, they got the kill they needed, but they were too far in. They couldn't actually back out. And now Kerp harassing Pega a little bit.
Quick bit of a urgent strike on towards Peke, making sure he just gets his attention. And then backs away, chugs on that potion to make sure he gets some of that mana back. Peke himself, well, he feels he needs to take those wastes away from Cyanide, who I don't think was too happy about that. Make sure he sticks around. Nah, this is my goal. I am the jungler, after all. Peke is just going to take a little bit more. This time around, Kerp is going to go all in. Cyanide is there to join the party as well. Peke is not going to go down. Instead, it's going to be Kerp. Tries to play full trickster, but the Ignite takes him down on the pole.
Very nice bait actually by Peke. He goes straight in there, gives Kerp the opportunity to put down his ultimate on him because he knew Cyanide was there, and he instantly shot him back, and Cyanide joined in and they managed to pick up the kill. And Source, he's still in the bot lane.
Goes aggressive on towards j. Flashes out of the Solar Flare there. Did get stunned and locked up briefly by Soaz, but they are just going to be able to back off from this one. This will be the tower for Fnatic.
They can at least go for this one because Millenium have to back off. Nobody is moving down because Kerp is dead. Trundle is in the top lane, and obviously Aranir can't do anything to defend this turret. So very nice play. Source actually been staying around this bot lane for quite a while.
So let's have a look at how the game stands currently. It's a 3,000 gold advantage, or almost 2,000 gold advantage by Fnatic. And you can see in terms of towers, of course, they have those 2 towers. So money in the bank still technically for Millenium. They did take that dragon down. You can see at the moment with Peke starting to roam. This is what we've mentioned many times for Alex and for Kerp. Going back to Assassins, it's what these mid laners do best in Europe.
Yeah, and generally something where you can have more impact than just sitting in your lane farming is what we want to see from the European mid laners, and it's also why all the strongest ones at least are playing that kind of style. And we see also when Alex is playing for Gambit and he has this impact, Gambit always win.
It is going to be the mid lane that may well go down. They can't quite get the last few hits on it. We do see in the top lane though, Soaz getting locked up here. Hasn't got Dominus available either. He has got an Ignite and a Flash, but I don't think he's going to be able to get away. We do see Millenium. They're going to have to follow him through here. RNA is going to come through. This will be Kevin coming in there, and RNA closes out the kill.
And once again, because the dragon is not up, Aranir is in this top lane area, and as soon as he spots Soaz out, he wants to go for the kill, and now they're going for this blue buff.
Well, Cyanide not going to land the kick on him. It will be a full invade. Peke is going to have that barrel that's still in there. It hasn't exploded it yet, so he's waiting to see if he can try and steal this one away. Explosive cask also available. Did he get it? No, he didn't. Aaron Air closes it out with the smite.
And very nice aggressive play by Millenium. They get the one kill, and then they just keep going from there. They don't stop, they don't back off. They know the blue buff was spawned, and they didn't walk down and just take it away from Fnatic.
Yeah, more importantly, Kerp, of course, picking up his own blue buff as well, so making sure they don't trade that one away. Reckless in danger here. Yellowstar's backing off in the bush.
Oh, he stopped it.
Cancels it away there. Doesn't follow through instead. Reckless, he should be safe with his support alongside him, but Kerp really fancies this.
But it's very hard for Leona to actually lock down Fizz due to the fact he can jump around. So it can be very hard for him to land the ultimate unless he can walk in, get the Q stun onto Kerp, and they can, you know, more or less kill him from that.
He's going to see if they follow through. Instead, he's happy to just take the wave. Playful Trickster and Urchin Strike across them. And now we are back to square one. Dragon spawning in 20 seconds time. Will we see our first 5v5?
And look at the vision control Fnatic just put up here. The 2 wards means that if Millenium is engaging from this area, they have full vision on them, they can land a long range engage from Yellowstar and then follow it up with the Gragas barrel and start the fight that way. So it's very nice vision they have, and if they can deny some vision from Millenium now, they can actually be in a very, very good position for this fight.
Well, Fnatic are going to be the 5 that try and get in position for this one. Millenium are closing that gap, closing that net all around them. Barrel landing on towards j rieg. Looks like Fnatic may start this one off. Pink ward put in the right place to find out that ward in that corner there. It's going to be Millenium looking to try and close in the gap. Ace in the Hole's going to get used, but Playful Trickster dodges it straight out.
And just due to the ward they have up here, they have full vision of Kerp. They can see when he actually wants to go in and try and throw his fish, so they know exactly when Millenium wants to engage.
Look at Soaz trying to zone him out. Peke trying to get that belly slam down on towards him. Cocoon doesn't find his target either. This time a barrel does land nicely there. The Dragon down to half health. They're going to keep on pushing this one. There's a Piltover coming across there. Solar Flare's going to get used. Kerp does manage to use that flash. Seconds goes straight out towards Reckless. Reckless is zoned out of this one. Kerp in all sorts of trouble. He gets focused down, but it is going to be Aaron A that picks up the kill on Soaz and takes the Dragon. Millenium ain't running now. They're trying to escape from this one. Reckless gets one kill. Kraton going to be the next focus. Barrel will land. Can they get the damage down? The Cocoon will be up in just a moment's time. It is going to be the Zenith blade on towards Kevin, but the turret is doing damage on Kevin. They Peke, sorry, and they do get away from this one. It's a 2-for-1 trade, but Millenium got the Dragon.
Millenium got the Dragon, so it's actually worth it for them. If we look at the fight itself though, Kerp, he came in from the side, had full vision on him when he threw in the fish, so Peke, he just backed out instantly and helped Reckless kill him. And meanwhile, yes, we did have swords going down, but they managed to pick up a revenge kill onto Millenium, and all in all, teamfight wise, in favor of Fnatic, but due to the Dragon, Millenium actually comes out on top.
And I would also argue the fact that those kills went onto RNA. This is while you can always argue it's great getting kills on your jungler, I would much rather have them on, say, the 0-2-0 Kerp on Fizz, or maybe the AD carry of Creator.
On generally just spread out on your entire team, like we see in Fnatic, every single one has picked up a kill. It gives them quite a good, a power spike. And as you mentioned yourself, Lee Sin, he's not scaling damage-wise too well into the late game. He brings a lot of utility, he can be a great tank, but damage-wise he's not going to bring anything, so him getting these kills is just going to make him a lot more tanky, but that's about it for now.
Millenium needs to start getting some of these turrets down. You see that again. They're just kind of in that situation of the game where Millenium coming out of lane phase, they just don't transition very well, and Fnatic have a clear goal. They know what they want to go for.
Well, yeah, Fnatic know what they want to go for. Obviously it was the Dragon before, but I actually have to give some credit to Millenium. They've been playing this laning phase and transition into mid-game fairly well. They've punished Source every time he overextended in the top lane, and also took down a blue buff for it, and all in all, they're actually keeping up fairly well with Fnatic.
Well, Peke doesn't seem too worried about Kerp. Kerp's the one that's backing away from this fight, doesn't really want to part of that. And of course you can see the Athenes has been completed. Rapidon's death cap on its way for Peke. Meanwhile Kerp went for that early Lich Bane, as you mentioned. Hook on towards Reckless. This could be something they follow through on, but instead choose wisely to back away because Yellowstar and Cyanide just standing in the wings.
And now Reckless, he keeps his small CS lead due to the Relic Shield on Yellowstar, but all in all though, the bot lane has been very, very passive. We haven't seen too much action before actually the rest of the teams decided to come down and fight for it and took the turret in Fnatic's favor. But so far, W5D2 has been farming fairly well, and they want to go into this mid-game being equally strong.
Renee using that smite, making sure he takes away that raid from Soaz. Soaz himself has got that Tiamat completed. He's going to maybe head towards the Hydra instead, takes a little bit of damage, and that's the third outer turret of the game now. Fnatic successfully taking over objective, and you immediately see Soaz saying, I'm going to run straight top. Don't want Kevin taking that turret.
And Aranea actually is following him. He just safeguarded to this ward. He want to try and stop Source from going there so Kevin can take down the turret, and once again they can trade turret for turret.
Aranea successfully dodging out the way of the stun. This time around they are going to try and focus on him. So as he's not going to land it, Solar Flare flashed out of by j in the mid lane. Peke was ready and waiting to follow through. This could be the first turret for Millenium here, and Aranea actually using his ultimate kick there to keep Soaz away from it. They will finish this one off.
Aranea, he did every single thing he could to stop Source from coming up there in time, and he actually managed to delay him so much that Kevin could take the turret down, and it was a very nice move. Also, I like actually the rotation from Fnatic in the first place. They spotted Kevin top lane, and also the new fist was spot, so they just instantly moved 4 people in there and took the turret. And oh, Peg almost all the way to blue.
Yeah, didn't get it, and he's been without that blue for a while. Kerp, of course, did take away the last one. Kraton does take away that second turret, and this is what I was talking about for Millenium. Gold in the bank. Those outer turrets starting to crumble, and you can see it's now just 1,000 gold between them. That is just that bottom outer turret, and it will be all square this match.
Yeah, and again, credit to Millenium. They keep taking the small things Fnatic actually want to give them. This time, mid turret was left undefended. It was already low from before, so 2 people simply went in and picked it up for free. And meanwhile, we see Kirk, he just keeps trying to farm. He's a bit behind Xpecker, but he wants to do everything he can now to just constantly farm for the next 10-15 minutes and get really, really strong.
Sunfire Cape's picked up by both the top laners. No surprises there. And we'll see how they transition into the game. Kevin, well, we saw him yesterday on Shen. He was actually picking up kills as well with that Stand United coming in late and closing out the kills. But as it stands, he's just got those 4 assists. Exactly what you want for that top laner. Just keep that gold ticking for him. Keep him well fed. Well, Soaz himself on the tank, which we haven't seen for a while, to be fair, 1-2-2.
Well, he is building, you know, somewhat offensive because, again, he want to be a presence in this split pushing. He want to be able to duel Kevin for as long as possible. Once again, we hit the late game mark, and Trundle will be out dueling the next time, but building this Hydra he's going to complete next time he goes back is actually going to give him, or extend the time he can duel Trundle for a long time, and it's going to give him a lot of, you know, both damage in team fights, but also just generally just split pushing presence.
Well, speaking of split pushing presence, of course, Kevin has the teleport, so it's something that he's almost certainly going to be looking to do. You can see second item, Build Water Cutlass going in there, going to go for that Blade of the Rune King, so he's going to be trying to do just exactly the same thing. Soaz, of course, with the Flash Flash Ignite, kind of a standard for Renekton.
And that's the thing that's in favor of Millenium, because notice how Source, instantly after he went back, or instantly after he pushed the wave out, he's now been going down to Dragon because it's going to be spawning in here the next 30 seconds. He's forced to do this because he doesn't have the teleport. Kevin, on the other hand, he can just continue farming away because he has the chance to teleport down.
Solar Flare coming in, but quickly safeguarded out by Aranea. That ultimate is not available in the next 30 seconds, so we're going to keep our eye on how this is going to work out. Millenium know that that's just been used. They're going to want to force the fight on Dragon.
And they really want to force this one because they've actually spotted through the wards that Source has been moving towards now his own top lane. He did decide to turn back. Again, they have full vision in this mid area, so they can see everything Fnatic is moving around. They want to set up the fight, and this time they got the vision control.
Kevin as well, he's taking away the blue while this happens, so he's making sure they take every objective away from Fnatic. Dragon down to half hit points. They're actually instead going to turn. They're going to try and push for that inner turret. Millenium are ready and waiting to cut them off here. Fnatic going to try and keep them away. Have they got the damage? Teleport coming in from Kevin. He's just taken the blue buff. He's happy to come in and play defensive. Has Reckless got enough? He's going to stick around. Is it going to be too long? That's the question. They're going to try and focus in towards him. You can see Aranea, he gets locked up. He really wanted to get the kick on towards Reckless. Instead, Soaz turns him through. Fnatic just melting down throughout the Millenium team. We do see Kurt picking up a kill on towards Peke. Can they turn this one on his head? Is Reckless doing all the damage? Kevin's found him. He's going on towards it. Kurt finds on towards it. The barriers. Is it going to be enough? No, it's not. He goes down. And now the AD carries. They've seen support versus support. Top laner versus top laner. How's this one going to play out? Kevin chomping his way through the hit points of Soaz there. Lantern being thrown out for extra shield from j. He's going to have his resets back up there. Comes in, flays both members of Fnatic. We do see Kevin. He's going to flash for this one. Gets on towards Soaz. The Pillar of Ice comes down. Chomps his way through Soaz's hit points and closes him down. A 4-for-3 exchange. Crazy fight between two teams.
Yeah, such a messy fight. It actually starts out by Aranea jumping into the backdown of Fnatic. He wanted to kick Reckless back. It didn't work for him. He instantly died for it. But meanwhile, Kevin was just being such a bully. And notice the fight here. Notice Aranea being the top. He goes in for Reckless. He's not able to get him due to a stun from Yellow Star. But this means that Fnatic is putting 3 people on killing Aranea. So there's actually a 4v2 scenario down here for Millenium side. And they managed to get the kill on Peke due to a nice ultimate from Curve. And then they, you know, turn into this 3v3 scenario here. And here we see why Trundle is so strong. He's going to be able to pretty much stay alive here. spam away his damage and due to Curb flashing, queuing into Reckless, they get the kill they need. And from here on, there's really nothing they can do in this 2v2 scenario for Fnatic side because Trundle is so strong with his single target damage.
Just biting his way through and finally closes out that fight, of course, with them chompers. Now Reckless, oh, he's been caught out. RNA is on him, and you can see Kevin's going to be joining the party as well. Curb is just below. You've got nowhere to go here, Reckless. He just gets followed through by that kick. He may well be able to solo out RNA here. RNA is having to use that safeguard. They're just going to chase him through. The rest of Fnatic are coming, closing in the gap. Ace in the hole comes through. Curb gets in there just in time. Reckless still not gone down. The rest of Fnatic closing the gap here. Grayton all on his own in that top lane. He's going to try and dive to the tower. Have they got enough time to catch up towards him, or will the tower take him down? He's going to go all the way to the Nexus turrets, I feel. Gonna go down! Turret kill. Nicely played by Reckless.
Well played by Reckless. He managed to kite it all the way out, and then he dies to the turret. I believe it's 8 seconds. You have to not take any damage from anyone, or is it 10 seconds to not take damage from anyone, and you actually give the kill to the turret instead. And now Soa's being aggressive.
Soa's going on towards Curb. Oh, the ultimate comes out from Jeremy. Not gonna land. The death sentence does, though. That's gonna lock up Soaz. He has to use that dominance. He's gonna try and get out of it. The rest of Fnatic come in. The explosive Cask nearly drops Kurt where he stands. We do see Kevin now. He's joined the party. We saw what he could do in the last fight. They close on towards Yellowstar once again. Aranea has got that kick available if he can land her down in towards him, but he hasn't got anything to try and jump on them. And he is going to try and come around. He wants to go on towards the Cyanide. He can't get either side of them right now. He's desperately trying to chase this one through, and Millenium finally give up the pursuit.
But very risky play by Soaz here. He stayed up even though Reckless was already dead. He actually stayed all the way up towards the turret from Millenium, and they managed to catch him out and therefore just chase him 5v4. Very nice chase by Millenium, but also very nice escape by Fnatic.
Back and forth action in this game. Still 8 kills to 8, and Fnatic still with the lead in terms of turrets, but you can see now they are falling behind in gold, and that's a worrying sign because Millenium, of course, got another 2,000 gold to pick up when they do take some of those turrets down. The question is, can they do that?
And this is a different Millenium than we're used to. Normally they win the early game, and once they get to the team fights, things kind of fall apart for them. This time around, though, they were a little bit behind early game, and now they actually managed to go even in gold. They picked up the last dragon. They got a very good team fight as well, where they traded 4 for free. So all in all, they're actually doing really, really well.
And I should point out, while all that massive Reckless chase, the Fnatic coming to help them out, Kraton was just at the top. He's back up there again. He's just continuing to farm. He's doing what an AD carry should be doing, getting himself very fed. Once he joins the team fights, that could be trouble for Fnatic.
That's the thing. Fnatic needs to be able to get to him backline-wise. They really only have the repel from Elise and also Renekton double dashing in. That is not enough because if you use your repel offensive as Elise, you're very open to just getting bursted down once you actually jump in.
They're trying to collapse onto Curb here. They're going to come around the side from there. Neither is in the bush. Yellowstar's not going to chase that one through. The rest of Millenium do close out, and that's going to be a 5-man Fnatic pushing onto a 4-man Millenium on this tower right now. Kraton has backed off there. Curb doing what he can, throwing down that Pillar of Ice, keeping them at bay.
And Fnatic is doing what the combo is good at, sieging turrets, poking away with Gragas, poking away with Caitlyn, and then just going for the turret whenever you have gotten someone from Millenium low and they can engage on you.
Kraton finally came in there, but again, like you mentioned, they just had that siege potential. Immediately everybody backs away from this fight. And Millenium are wondering where Fnatic are going to go next. They haven't got good wall coverage in their own jungle.
No, they have all their wards actually placed further down the map, so they don't really see Fnatic moving around here. The next one for Fnatic could be the top turret. It's the only outer turret left. Otherwise, they have to move all the way up to the base from Millenium, and that's where it kind of gets scary because it's very easy to flank around you, especially with something like a Fizz.
Peke is off on his own right now down that bottom lane. Dragon is up in 30 seconds, so I expect that will be the next focus target priority for both of these teams. And Fnatic just warding out, giving coverage to the Baron, because there's always a danger that you can have one goes for Dragon, one goes for Baron, and you get caught out either way. And as it stands, it seems to Millenium, well, they had that 4 ward position down the river. That's going to give them the advantage on Dragon.
And notice the pings from Fnatic. They're spamming on this Baron because they want to make sure that if Millenium moves down to Dragon, they instantly go over there, already placed the ping ward, so they know it's not warded.
Well, seeing if they can get any picks on Fnatic. They have that ward in the mid lane, keeping the objective covered off. This will be a very quick Dragon, you've got to remember. So Fnatic, if they're going to do something here, they have to get involved early on. Jerry flashing out there is going to throw in. It's going to be picked up by Millenium. Now you can see the culling going down. Yellowstar's going to get focused on. Reckless at the back, just gets melted by Curb. That's a big problem, but Curb's going to go down as well. He can't play for Trickster away from this one. Peke is going to be the next line of focus. Kraton going to Traitor's one, but he belly dashes away there. Millenium a little bit split. They're not sure which one target to choose for. Soaz trying to wrangle them into the corner. Cocoon will land on j. The hook's not going to go through, and both teams will back away. Both carries down.
But these team fights, they are so even. It's always 1 for 1, 2 for 2. This time around though, Curb, he managed to land his fish all the way to the back line and hit it onto Reckless and instantly bursted him down. Yes, he died for it because he already used his Trickster and his Sonya's, but Millenium picked up the Dragon for it, so once again they actually get out ahead.
They managed to keep the objectives in their favour. Blue buff actually is something that Peke hasn't had for a very long time. He's very interested in trying to get the next one, and of course Kevin stole it away previously. Creator once again in that top lane, keeping that CS going, starting to build up a bit of an advantage over Reckless.
And now, actually, if you notice the items here, Face of the Mountain is completed on Leona. It means that she can provide the shield onto whoever Fizz is jumping. This time around though, if Reckless get hit by the ultimate Fizz, he's more or less gonna die every single time because he's so squishy.
And you can see that's why he's gone for that red buff as well, wants to make sure he gets that extra bonus heal. So 2 heals going to be hitting him at the same time. Make sure he can save himself from that Kurt, because we already saw how quick he can go down.
Yeah, exactly. And there's 3 options he has defensive-wise. He can go for Banshees to try and block some damage. He can go for QSS. If he uses it when the fish is on him, the fish actually just stays on the ground and he can move out of it and avoid the damage. Or he can go for the Guardian Angel simply to revive up again if he should get bursted down.
Well, Curve, of course, with that Zhonya's Hourglass. And Peke went the opposite direction, went straight for that damage. We'll see what he builds into next, whether it would be an Abyssal Scepter. I'm wondering whether he's going to go that route since he ups up against a high burst potential of Curve, because he almost certainly will be the focus. It'll be either Peke or Reckless they want to take down as quick as possible. Let's have a look at these top laners, because obviously Play of the Rune King's been completed a while by Kevin. Both Spirit Visage also being completed. We do see Soaz. He has gone Bruiserish. He did get the Hydra. Oh, Talisman was used there, trying to catch on towards him. Not going to focus any target though.
It's a nice counter engage from Sana, just landing the stun as soon as the Talisman was popped. Stopped everything from happening. If Kevin could have gotten closer, he could put off the pillar. But notice Fnatic now. They're going for this top turret.
They're rushing straight in towards it, and immediately everybody from Millenium quickly recalling, because this is going to be an exposed inhibitor. It's going to be Soaz and Peke both on there. Only just recalling now. They're going to get a good chunk of damage on this. Now we see Reckless. He's beating it down as well. Peke going to use that explosive cascade to keep them away. They've taken the inhibitor turret. Great positional advantage. RNA tries to go in. He only manages to land the kick on the cyanide there. Quickly blowing backwards. Kirk's going to get focused. Reckless just doing damage on the side there. Doesn't manage to take him. Zonya's Hourglass was enough to keep him at bay. Soaz gets taken down. Cyanide gets taken down. Now Kevin again in amongst the team doing damage. Oh, the barrel rolls back there. Creator making sure he doesn't run into a pillar of ice. Going to lock up Yellow Star. He's going to get caught out there. Try to turn it back around on towards Peke. The hook on Reckless. They're going to follow through. The flame comes through. Brilliant. No, Kraton off the side. He's just taking them down one by one. A triple kill comes from Kraton. But what a setup from j.
So once again, Aranir, in the start of the whole fight, he goes into the backline and everyone from Fnatic is turning around trying to kill him. This means the rest of Millenium can join in the fight fairly safe. Notice how we started here again. We have the home guard Aranir going in. Rest of Fnatic turns to him. We have 4 people killing him this time around. Also, Peke is using his ultimate to knock him back into them once again. This means, oh, he actually hits Curb as well. Very nice ultimate. Curb is almost going to die from this one, but due to Sonya's and due to his Trickster afterwards, he's able to survive. This means now Kevin, he joins the fight once again. Nobody's here to burst him down. He's so tanky. And meanwhile, we're watching this replay. The Baron just being picked up by Millenium. And notice right here. Notice j. This is a Mad Life hook. He's landing straight on to Reckless. Boom. There you go. And Kreslon can come back in and they can manage to pick up 3 kills.
3-man play on that hook as well. Absolutely amazing stuff there. So, Millenium with the Baron buff. What do we make of this? What will happen here? Will Fnatic go for a 5-game losing streak? God help them if they do, because Millenium, well, they've been anchored at the bottom of the league and they've looked dreadful in some of their games, but this game right now, they are taking it to Fnatic.
They are really taking it to Fnatic, and actually, we talked about the Lee Sin picking up all the kills early. This actually meant he's been very, very tanky, and we see how much Fnatic has to invest in killing him every time he goes into the fight, which means once he's actually dead, the rest of Millenium can come in from behind, and the Fnatic without their ultimate can't really do anything to Kevin, and once again, they can't do much to Curve if he actually decides to get in.
RNA getting locked up down the bottom there, but they haven't really got the focus and the damage to go through him. RNA, by the way, I got a target, you know, the fact that he's been the one that's been throwing himself into the team, and he's been doing work. You know, it's over-aggressive sometimes. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But today, It seems to be working.
It works if you're this tanky, and Fnatic has to use so much on killing you. It doesn't even matter if he dies in these team fights because the rest of the team can just, you know, finish everything up.
Well, we have the ward cheering army in the house today. They're happy every ward goes down. Remember, this is a Baroned up Millenium. He's trying to get on towards Reckless. He does find him. Gets the kick on towards him. The rest of his team can't come in there. Uses that Radiant Omen. While the rest of Millenium, and he just safeguards away. Takes the Lantern. Safe and clear. They took the tower. Millenium hit and run.
I've never seen a guy throw himself into the backline this many times, and he doesn't even care if he dies. This time he managed to survive, and Millenium just pick up a tower for it. Every single time he does this, Millenium gets something.
See, now they need to rotate down. They're going to go down towards that bottom lane. Kirp is ready and waiting as well. Didn't fancy taking on 3 members. Dragon up in 5 seconds time. Millenium again with the timer on this one, taking all the objectives.
And they will get this one for free, because there's no reason for Fnatic to try and fight for it versus the Baroned up Millenium. It is a lot of gold at this point. We're 35 minutes in. It's going to give, you know, quite a boost from there, but this time around, Fnatic is pushing up, and Kirp, he's in the bot lane.
Yeah, he went down towards that bottom lane, realized the minions should be able to take it down. He's going to have to teleport back because Fnatic were trying to take some positional advantage. Yeah, the moment they get shepherded away by the rest of Millenium, he decides to cancel that teleport. Oh,
need to be careful.
You are deep in dangerous trouble here. Quickly safeguards the rest of his team. They saw Yellowstar really wanted to start the fight there.
It was a very nice move though. They moved down towards Kirp, so if something should have happened, he would have been able to come up and join the fight. Meanwhile though, he's just pushing this top bot lane all the time.
Still 60 seconds on this Baron buff. It's Kirp going to be doing work. The rest of Millenium come around. Pillar of Ice being used to just block up Fnatic, and now they could try and turn this fight. They have taken down 3 turrets and a dragon with his Baron buff already. The culling coming out. Kraton going very aggressive. Gets caught in the cocoon. They're going to follow it through with the solar flare. Flashes out of that one. Soaz is going to get locked up. Soaz, the tankiest member, just gets annihilated by Kirp there. Kirp now on towards Peke. Sonya's hourglass going to be used. Kirp will be able to go down. He gets the play for Trickster. Oh, and he's going to escape as well. I do not believe it. Kirp Peke gets locked in there. Sino tries to come in. Kirp just urging
They're going to win it
towards it. Wow! Millenium acing Fnatic on their own tower with the Baron buff just about to time out. Millenium just wrecking Fnatic.
And MVP Mikhails from j Rieg straight onto Kraton when he got locked down by Leona, so he managed to, you know, be able to dash out. And then again, the rest of Millenium, they come in. They're so tanky at this point, and Kirp has so much damage that there's nothing Fnatic can do to kill the front line.
Millenium take down Fnatic in week 5. What a turnabout result this is. And Fnatic, my God, they're on a 5-game losing streak now. This is not good times. Millenium overjoyed with that victory. Aranea, you know, love him or hate him, he was flinging himself into those fights.
And again, due to the early kills he got the early Randuins, he was so tanky. Fnatic couldn't kill him fast enough, so he could just keep doing this over and over. And it's actually the story of the game. Millenium, they got so tanky with their front line, and at the same time, you had the Fizz just doing so much burst damage, and also you had Kraton in the background just hammering away constantly. And also, the one hook from j Rieg, it was my big play for sure.
Absolutely, I was about to say, you talk about the big plays, there was quite a few in there. The j Rieg hook followed by the flay. You've got Aranea flinging himself into the teams, creating situations. Fantastic play from Millenium, and finally may have found